Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit after I finish a Lego set, and of course to hang out with you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, and the Tier 2 blue emote. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. You got to be Tier 2 to get the blue emote. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. I want to say hello to Lashbrook and Arctic Sloth and Ghost Valve, who are all here. Welcome, welcome. Aristophan is here too, using that Tier 2 emote. Thank you, Aristophan, for being a Tier 2 subscriber and also showing off that cool emote. Thank you, everybody, for being here at the beginning of the stream. Look, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I should say it not at the beginning for people who aren't here, but like anytime people come by, it's great. If you are ever like, oh, it's 9, I got something else going on, whatever, I'll check in like an hour. You can do that, and that's okay. You also don't have to watch the streams every time that I do it if you have other things going on. Like, hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Like, I'm not mad at anyone for not being here. Like, Harold watches any hour he can. Desert Bus, when Desert Bus happens. I tend to only watch some of it. Throughout the day I have it on, and then I do tune in generally for Night Watch, which is 9 p.m. Eastern time until 3 a.m. Eastern time, and then I just go to bed after. But I'll check in. My hope is during the 2 hours that I'm streaming tonight, they don't do the this or that I prepared for Night Watch. I'm hoping that they do it later in the night if they do it tonight. But they haven't done it yet, so that it's likely they will. Anyway, you don't have to watch ever or at all, or you could have multiple streams going. You could be watching football tonight and just happen to have me on. I mean, having it on while you're doing other things is also okay, because then it keeps my view numbers sky high, and that's good. So tonight we worked on the Lego 3-in-1 Street Racer. We built the other two cars. All we have left now is the actual Street Racer itself, which we will be building tonight, and then, if there is time, we will begin the process of working on the Fuunsaiki, which is my first I figured this out on stream. I have never done this on stream before. A third-party knockoff kit. I have built official Bandai and then other companies' kits. I built a few other companies' kits, but they've all been officially licensed products. This Fuunsaiki. Fuunsaiki. Yes, Fuunsaiki. I don't know why I mess it up. Why I think it's Fuunsaiki. It's not. Fuunsaiki. This Fuunsaiki is made by a company just called EW. That's it. That's all I know about them. Now, is this identical to the one that came in the 2-pack with the Master Gundam? No. Is it identical to the one that's coming out to be a stand that is just that kit, but it's going to be re-released with effect parts for the God Gundam that's back there? No. This seems to be just a knockoff. And it wasn't that much money. Look, if I wanted to get a horse with the Master Gundam, the double pack, that's like $80 on Amazon right now. And I bet in stores it's probably like 50 or 60 because there was a demand for it because people want to put the new real grade on. This was put out so you can use the high grades with it or you can use the real grades with it. It's got a lot of water slide decals that I don't know if they're even going to work right. It's kind of a shit show. Is it like how Vinny just got third-party Transformers for his shelf collection? Sort of. I would say that third-party Transformers are often made the same place that first-party Transformers are made. It's kind of like how sometimes you can, like, the difference between Wish.com and AliExpress is a lot of stuff on AliExpress is made in the same factory as the good stuff, and so it's just cheaper because it's a knockoff and maybe not tested quite right. Whereas Wish is just like bootleg nonsense. This is the Wish.com version, not the AliExpress version. And the third-party Transformers that he has are more like AliExpress. Some might be trash, but there's a higher percentage chance that they are just, have a different sticker on them, whereas this is like, this doesn't feel, the plastic doesn't feel quite right. You know what I mean? It's going to look way more bulky than it should when it's done. I'm excited to work on it because I haven't done a bootleg before. And so I was like, I saw it was available for pre-order on USA Gundam Store, and I was like, I'm getting one of them. Still, why not? But anyway, we got to build a car before we can even do that. I'm gonna retweet my tweet while Twitter still exists, because we are gonna talk about that up first. We got to do a Twitter update. It feels like every stream there's a new thing I can talk about on Twitter, which is hilarious because Elon Musk Twitter is the main character of Twitter and has been basically every fucking day, and that's so wild to me. Lastword says, Vinny's not buying bootlegs. They're just other companies making transforming toys that look a lot like a licensed property. Yes, Lashbrook. They're not bootlegs. They're close specs. They're fan projects made by companies that have employees. All right, so we're going to work on this car, and I'm going to talk about Elon Musk's latest thing. So here's the update. You may remember that Elon Musk was talking about how employees need to be hardcore. He needs hardcore employees that are willing to work bad hours to keep the thing going. And how he made an ultimatum to employees, basically saying, well, he made two ultimatums. One, go back to work. No working from home. Come to the office. You got to come to the office. Which people were like, most of Ireland's employees don't live in Dublin and can't do that. And then he kind of walked that back a bit. But also, he was like, hey, if you got a couple days to decide if you want to work here anymore, no hard feelings if you don't. But if you don't want to work here, if you don't want to be hardcore, then don't work here. And apparently a lot of people decided, don't work here. And a lot of people, as of the deadline today, which was like 5 p.m. Eastern, were just like, yeah, no. So many people are, yeah, no. They didn't know what to do with the fact that they don't know who has quit and who hasn't. So the only solution they could come up with was to just physically close every office because they don't know. They don't have an accurate list of who should have access or not. Now, they're just saying, we're temporarily closing. We're going to be back up in a couple weeks. Everything is fine. Just work from home, everybody. But the belief is, this is, of course, belief. I can't verify this. The belief is that it is because they don't know who should have access to the physical location, and they are worried about sabotage. If Twitter dies, where will all the weirdo Elon defenders go worship their father's idol? I have to imagine that he has a Mastodon account that he's ready to use. I wish to continue making fun of Elon where they'll see and get mad. Yeah. Respect the sabotages from inside the house. Yes. Getting the holidays off within 3 months severance is an easy choice. 100% Lord Crashington. Get out while there's severance before they file for bankruptcy and you're boned and you won't get any money from them. Not that I think I don't think a lot of employees will ever actually get a lot of money. We'll see. Assuming it was actually 3 months severance. Yes. I believe that the early severance stuff, he did have to walk back and actually give the proper stuff, that he couldn't fire the people because the thing is, Elon doesn't care about lawsuits because he has won many of them. And also, generally, he doesn't have to pay out a lot of money, or it actually doesn't end up becoming his money that has to get paid out. But it's been very clear that he's at a point now where it's like, oh, no, oh, wait, no. Actually, this could be awful. Yes. Well, he thinks that, and he's right, that he does not have to face consequences for his actions because he is rich. And that is true. He has borrowed money from people that like to... how do I say this without putting myself in danger? I have to be careful. I have to be careful about this, so I am going to do my best to be careful about what I'm about to say. unsubstantiated rumors and innuendos have made it seemingly clear that some of the people he may or may not have borrowed money from in order to make this purchase have a habit, theoretically, off the record, some people are saying, murdered people that owe them money. Or murdered people that don't owe them money. That's just a hypothetical fiction piece that I'm writing. But in the end, Twitter might be done. If you know the year that you can find out the year that you first started tweeting on your profile, I would say you should advanced search your own name within that time frame and find your first tweet. Mine is in October 2008. And then retweet your first tweet because it's kind of fun to do that. That's a fun thing. There are JSONs, or JSON. I think it's JSON, but I don't even know. JSONs out there where you can make a list of all of your contacts. It was created by someone so that you can import your follows and who's following you into Mastodon. But you don't have to use it in Mastodon. You could just have it, and then you have that. So that's a good thing. Was Yuji Naka part of the insider trading? I know that former employees of for the last time I saw it was former employees were arrested for insider trading, but I did not see that Yuji Naka was part of that. Let's just check some. 1 week ago. No, I'm not seeing that. Do you have a link, Lashbrook? Because I did not see that. Tokyo District Prosecutor's Office arrests 57-year-old game creator Yuji Naka in context of insider trading related to new installment of popular Dragon Quest franchise. Yes, I did not know that Yuji Naka was part of that. I had seen it, but did not see... I only saw translated tweets. I did not see full news stories on that. That former members of that worked on the spin-off mobile game of Dragon Quest were apparently... there's a company that got... like some of those folks left to make... specifically to make the game. And while that was happening, other people... apparently did some insider trading because they knew this announcement was coming out that this company was going to make this mobile game, and they used that insider trading to make a bunch of money. And I did not know, and I don't know if yes. So I don't know if Yuji Naka was he's been arrested. Certainly, I don't know if he facilitated that. He made it easy for people to do it. He himself is guilty of insider trading, obviously, court of law and all that, day in court. But yeah, that is wild. I did see that. That didn't make my news roundup, but I did see that, and that is, of course, fucking weird. All right, we talked about Musk. We mentioned that. I'm going to give you a Pat Baer update. More information, I'm sure, will come about Yuji Naka, and people will do write-ups, and they'll have their... they won't use Google Translate. They'll get people to actually do proper write-ups of it. More information, I'm sure, will come soon. I'm going to give you a Pat Baer update. What's going on with your boy Pat? Biggest update is, if you saw my tweets... got some home improvements happening around the house, and these were unwanted home improvements. We had a leak. It was we thought it was the water being pumped out of the washing machine. It wasn't. It was a pinhole leak in a pipe in underneath the floor in the closet because we started seeing water come up on our floors. Now, the floor in the living room is those interlocked pieces that kind of like wedge in next to each other. They're not like nailed down, but they're kind of wedged together. They interlock, and then the borders are nailed into the concrete floor. They're very nice, and there's a water barrier in between. There's a barrier, yeah. I recognize those fans in your photo. We had a roof leak a few weeks ago, and it's been bad here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this was coming up, right? We're just seeing like water, and it's like it didn't rain. We're not like my mom likes to say, "Oh, we're in a drought." We're not really in a drought, but it didn't rain when this happened. So we had to get. Some guys came. Now, one thing I should point out, I live in this house. My folks own the house, taking care of it. They have homeowners insurance. This was not an act of God. This is an element of the house failing. So let's get this thing going. Guys come in. They rip up all the floorboards and take them away. And then they set up those big-ass fans. And they also set up a dehumidifier. The fans are currently not running right now because even though it's a distance between the living room and here, the noise was so loud I couldn't gate it. I could not gate them down reliably. So with permission, those fans are off, and they've been off since like 8 p.m. and it's been fucking awesome to not have them on. I did manage to fall asleep. If I close my door in this room, I don't hear them terribly. And I've just had my headphones on since yesterday morning. Like, in this room, I can't do anything without these headphones on, which is fine but annoying, right? I prefer not to have that. So, floor came up. They're drying. Got a guy come in, a leak specialist. This guy's got gear to find water where there shouldn't be water and pinpoint it. He found the leak, and he was able, through the use of some tools, to get access and remove the pipe part. So we got our water back yesterday, and we had our water shut off on Tuesday afternoon, and then we had the guys out on Wednesday. So we got our water back. We've been taking. We had drinking water and all that, and we went and bought more. But we were filling buckets from our neighbor, the spigot outside, so that we could flush toilets, because we got that city water. So we had to like get that to be able to flush and do all that stuff. But we can do that, and that's fine. Tomorrow tomorrow they're gonna come back. See if it's dry enough, because they got to dry out the place before they can do anything else. So they're going to see if we got to keep these fans running or if they can take them back. Fingers fucking crossed, friends. This is not. I should go over there. Fingers crossed that it's dry enough and that we can get rid of these goddamn fans. And then the process of getting a new floor will happen. When? Who knows? It's so close to Thanksgiving, and then also, right around the corner is Christmas. So who the fuck knows if and when this is going to go down. We got the concrete. We're making do. It's kind of a fucking nightmare. But that's the update. The fans will come on once the stream is over. I'm not interested, not enjoying that, but that's just part of the life that we're living right now. Here's the thing. The leak is gone. We figured out where the leak was. The leak is gone. That is tremendous and incredible, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you, Aristophan. So, last row. We don't know. We don't know. My assumption is that this is just an old copper pipe, right? Like, that's the assumption, is that a little bit of that pipe just somehow, for some reason, at some point, started leaking. And it was so small of a leak that it took a very long time for it to force its way even out, escaping through a little bit of drywall onto the floor, underneath the floor, and then eventually coming up, like, over the barrier into the wood, and it just took so long for that to happen because once we like shut the water off, like after a while, we didn't start seeing any more water damage. But yeah, it's a nightmare. And then let's. I'm gonna not be super specific about this, but I will say, I've talked about how there was a car accident last month. Everyone's fine except the car is not great. So that was fairly recent. And then the other thing is on a personal level, I'm having a bad time. On a professional level, I'm doing all right. But on a personal level, not necessarily personal, not having a great time. Professional, not the jobs I want, not this kind of professional, performance professional, but like pay my bills professional, not having a good time. I had some contract work that should generally be extended last minute, like literally like about to start working on a new project. Instead, they were like, actually, we're basically closing this department and just doing as much internal as we can. So we no longer need your services. Yes, Arctic Sloth, it does. It is pouring while it's raining, certainly. And then a job I had lined up for December is no longer a job. They are postponing the project that I would be working on. So this particular thing was people that I do contract work for that I still work for, which is good. One of the owners of that company was doing a side business and was looking to hire me to help out with that business, basically doing similar things to what I do with them. I've talked about this, the fun data entry, the cool data entry stuff that I do. It was that kind of work, and I was happy to have that work. But unfortunately, that project has been postponed, so that December is very bad for work like this that I do. There will be some stuff that there will be like conferences and conventions in January, so some work has to get done, but no one's doing like everyone's budgets are depleted at this point, and you're only doing the work you have to do. You're not doing any of the work you can just assign in January. So I'll have a busy January most likely, but right now it's pretty bad. And then also some bills that are there were bills that were gonna get paid in the beginning of December with a little bit of a late fee. And then the job that I had this month that got kind of ended, we're going to pay for that. So I had realized doing my budget stuff that, oh, this isn't going to work. And then also that late fee for that bill, turns out that was misrepresented to me and was actually going to be far more substantial of a bit of that. So I reached out, asked for some help. I'm grateful for the help that came my way. I definitely had a quiet cry moment today because the generosity of people who know me and like what I do, but also people that know me for decades and just like me. There was somebody who I have not seen in person in 10 years that just gave me a large amount of money and said like, hey, like next time you're in town, we should get lunch because I think I haven't seen you in 10 years. And I was like, yeah. I was like, the last time we talked, you had just written a movie that you were very proud of, and I can't believe that it came out and you get to make more movies. And we had like a nice little chat. And it was just one of those things where it was like, this is lovely. They just saw me on Twitter and were like, oh, Pat, yeah. And it made me very happy. And I hate that I have to ask for help. I think asking for help is incredibly important, but I feel like for me, people should get better at asking for help while it's bad before it gets worse. And if I had waited, it would have gotten worse. And so I did not wait. And I still believe that. But I also believe that I have asked for a lot of help in the past few months. And I'm tired of asking for help. I'm tired of not asking for help. I should clarify. I'm tired of needing to ask for help. So I should point this out there because I talk about this on occasion, but I don't talk about this enough. A large portion of my day is applying for work. And I think I need to make it even more. And I have to look, I will say this. I kind of took a break a couple months ago from applying for stuff that I am not qualified for. And with the caveat that I still apply for things that I don't meet some of their minimums, right? So a human may never even look at my stuff. I still apply for those things. Yes, indeed. My full-time job is applying for jobs. But I don't know. I figured this out. Let's see. How does this look? Okay, what's that? That, look, if they need a Master of Arts for something or a business degree of something like that, right? Me putting there that I don't have that means that algorithms make it so that people don't see my resumes. But it doesn't hurt to apply. At this point, I have cover letters that are easy to update. That I have 4 different kinds of cover letters that are all very easy to swap between that fulfill different things for different fields, and I have no problem with that because whatever. But for a little while, I stopped. I applied for stuff that I'm like, I could do this. I don't qualify for this, but I could do this job really well. And if somebody was interested in taking a chance, I would be a great fit for this. I still apply for those jobs. But I stopped for a little while applying for the jobs that I'm like, if anyone read this application, wait, that doesn't look right. I think I missed us. Did I miss a step? I gotta go back, friends, because that seems like this part here should not have a gap, and right now there's a gap, which I think means that I did this wrong. So now I have to see. Okay. Yeah. I definitely did this wrong. Actually, I think I put these on facing the wrong way. Yes. Okay. So that's what I did wrong. These are facing the wrong way because this should be lower than that, not above that. Okay. Now I think those are going. But yeah. I stopped doing the things where I'm just like, look, I wouldn't be good at this job. Forget, I'm not qualified for it. I couldn't keep up with it. I'm going to have to start applying for those jobs again. Just say, fuck it. And then, again, PAX Unplugged, performance, vacation, conversation. Those are the 3 keys there. The number one thing is performance. Performance, conversation, vacation. Let's put it in that way. The idea is the number one thing is doing my panel on Friday. Not live, but will be not streamed live, but will be recorded. It's a live panel. It just won't be streamed, but it will be recorded and then put on my YouTube. So that way, that's the number one priority. Do my panel. Gonna be real good. Below that is networking, chatting, meeting up with people, getting some face-to-face time with some people, being introduced to new people. Am I going to be going to a party specifically so that the community manager of the company who is running that party might introduce me to people that have money? Yes. Do I know anything about that company other than the fact that they gave my friend a job there? No. Do I even do I think am I going to even do research on the company? I'll learn its name. Right now I don't know its name, but I'll learn it before I go to the party. But yeah, I don't usually do that networking stuff, but I'm going to do it. I need the work. So that's and then below that is the fact that it'll be a fun little weekend in Philadelphia where I will see some friends and hang out. I tweeted this. right now, because Twitter Blue is down, even though I don't have Twitter Blue, as a verified Twitter user, I cannot change my display name. I am not able to change my display name, so I have Pat Baer, soon emoji, PAX Unplugged. And I just hope that if Twitter dies, it dies after PAX Unplugged, because one, I do need it to promote that, but two, I just don't want it to like live on, but I'm stuck. Supposedly, it's going to come back. The Twitter Blue will come back, and then when it does, I will be able to change my display name. But right now I can't, and it's kind of funny that might be the last thing it says. Anyway, that's work stuff. That's a Pat Baer personal update. That's a house and person update. Let's talk about Full Gear. I've got a video recommendation, but I'll save that for the end of the stream. I hear Twitter may be hiring. Yeah, who the fuck knows? I gotta eat. And if me working at a place that you don't like is a deal breaker, I understand. I worked for community. I worked customer service for TeePublic, a company that I was like, but I worked there. That's fine. I did not end up working at, but I took meetings at Amazon and ended up not working for Amazon. I was going to work at one of their stores where you don't pay with money. You just use your app. You just use your phone and your account. I was going to work there as an associate manager. I got meetings. I went to Amazon's New York office and sat in meetings and talked to someone who was like, so tell me about UCB, because she was fucking very excited to talk about UCB. And she did. So we were talking and all that, and I was just like, hey, can I ask you like a question? Like, is this company interested in me, or did you want to just hang out and talk about comedy? Because I love talking about comedy, but also I don't want to waste time for other people. She's like, no, I do want to hear about this, but also I want to, because it was friendly, professional the way I said. I said it probably nicer than that, but I was making sure that I wasn't wasting my time, even though I did want to talk. But she's like, no, I think you'd be an interesting fit here, and also I want to hear about Robin Williams. So I was like, yeah, we'll talk about Robin Williams, no problem. I'll never judge anyone by what they work for unless it's arms manufacturer or police department or related industries. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, there are lines, right? Did I take that job? No. Would I work at Amazon? At this point, I might. I don't want to. I don't want to work for Amazon. But, like, I gotta fucking do something. Gotta do something. Like, I'm one weird medical thing from declaring bankruptcy, So it's just like, I gotta figure something out. I would love it if that something wasn't that. Like, I'll tell you this, friends. If I got hired to work for Twitter, you would not know that. I would not say that shit. I would not be one of those people that somehow became a spokesman for that company. I would keep that. I would say, yeah, I'm doing some tech work. Like, that's as much as you would get from me. I would never say that I worked there. But I'd take a check. I gotta do something. Anyway, I'm going to drink a sip of water early. We're not ready for the pulse of the cause, but I needed that. Let's talk about Full Gear. Let's talk wrestling. Let's switch gears to talk about Full Gear. Don't make it easy for Elon's search brigade to find you. I know, right? Luckily, I've never been attacked by Elon Musk sycophants. I have been the biggest amount of people that have. There are two accounts that have sent their fans at me. One was a games journalist who is a shitlord, and I called him. I retweeted a tweet of his and called him out, and it was great. And it caused a fight with one of his friends, who got mad at me for calling out his friend and coworker, and he like talked shit, and then a bunch of people like followed through, the people that love him, and I got but then I got a bunch of people who hated him, just being like, hell yeah, Pat, including some people that used to work with that guy. So that was very fun for me. And that took a while. I got Brigand there actually 3 times. One time, and then it is fascinating to observe my brother and Elon cultists deal with this unequivocal failure. There you go. Yeah, the come to Jesus moments that some people have. And then, so that happens. I wore a feminist frequency shirt one day, and it got retweeted because I know people that at some point were working social media for FemFreak. And that got retweeted. And so a bunch of people who hate follow that account decided to hate follow me, and that was around Christmas, so that was fun. That's the only time that I've made my account private. I went ahead and made my account private because of that, because that was just bad. And then the earliest one, and the one that I call out is the silliest thing that ever happened to me on Twitter, was for a while, we have not kept in touch, but for a while, I was hanging out with a former television star from MTV. Her name is Liz, and she had a TV show that was a mockumentary style, where it was real people, but it was fictionalized stories, named My Life as Liz. That was her show. And she eventually moved to New York, and because she was a young person that became famous out of nowhere on MTV, she got introduced to my friend Jake Fogelnest, a young person who became famous by having an MTV show when he was very young. Jake had a show called Squirt TV many years ago, which was literally filmed in his bedroom for public access, and then eventually on a set to look like his bedroom. And because he was like on New York public access, famous people wanted to come and be on it. And he interviewed like the Beastie Boys. And then eventually MTV showed that. So Jake, who's a little older than me, but not basically my age, ended up like becoming friendly with Liz. And she would come around UCB, and she was for a time dating someone that I knew. And so Liz and I hung out. And when she was still active on Twitter, she's not right now, which is good for her. On my birthday, she was like, was like, oh, it's your birthday, cool. And then it was like, hey, everybody, please wish my friend Pat a happy birthday. And she had like millions of fans on Twitter. And a few people were like, happy birthday. And a few other people were like, I don't know you, but Liz likes you, that's cool. And then, honestly, I would say, not most, but a large portion of the people were like, fuck you. Why are you friends with Liz? I don't know who you are. You're not a person that I have identified as being a Liz friend. Fuck you. And they were very mad that Liz noticed me and was friends with me. And I was like, oh no, why are you like this? I was like, this was before the popularized terms of like simps was popularized. But I was like, y'all, this is not. I mean, this wasn't simp behavior. This is like sycophant behavior. Yes, yikes indeed, Ghost Valve. It was a real yikes moment where I was just like, what's happening right now? Why are people so mad at me? Like, this was okay. I'll say this. This was so long ago. I had my phone. I had messages. Because this was the point where on your phone, you could still SMS messages out there. I had stopped doing that. But my phone, I would get an alert when I got a notification. Because I wasn't super popular on Twitter. I wasn't verified at this point. This was just like a way to know if someone had sent me a message on Twitter and was trying to use Twitter. Like, some people still have that turned on for DMs. I have that turned on for DMs myself. But I didn't have that turned on I used to have it turned on, for all notifications. and my phone just started buzzing and buzzing and buzzing, and I was like, "Whoa, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?" So I got into a computer and found out it was a hate brigade of quote unquote. It was a quote unquote fans hate brigading me, like imagine if somebody on like, I don't know, Blackpink, if one of the members of Blackpink was like, you know who rules? Pat Baer. And a bunch of K-stans were just like, I don't know who that is, but I hate that a member of Blackpink likes you. Like, oh, okay. All right. I forget who the celebrity was. Lizzo was working on a project with Nick Jonas, and so they were hanging out on the project, and they were acting like they were very good friends because that helps promote a product. And some of the Nick Jonas stans were trying to figure out how actually friendly they were because they weren't sure if they was it okay to actually like Lizzo, or was this a fake thing and they weren't actually friends, and therefore they didn't have to like Lizzo because they can see through the lies, even though they obviously fucking can't. Reminds me of when Xbox Live used to have a featured gamer and they'd get a lot of hateful messages. Yeah. If I was on the front page of Twitch, if I was in like a featured Twitch person, right? One, they would tell me ahead of time, and I would ask people to become mods. I would go to people that mod other things, people I'm friends with who've done the work, and ask them to temporarily be a mod. And then also would ask my contacts at Twitch to be like, hey, do you have people that, you know, can I have staff in there? It would not, I would get hate. It would not be a big problem. But the reason why it wouldn't be that big of a problem is because I'm a white dude. Just a white dude. So it wouldn't be a big deal. But like the Twitter front page for a lot of people is a fucking nightmare of garbage. It's real bad. So yeah, luckily I've never been on the front page. I would love to be recommended. I would love to be hey, people that like, you know, people that you like also like this person. Like that would be great. That would be huge. Anyway, I want to talk about Full Gear for a little bit. I want to talk a little bit of wrestling. This card is seems to be decreasing. Originally it was I meant Twitch. Being on the front page of Twitch is a problem. That's what I meant by that. I may have said Twitter at one point because we've been talking a lot about that. Anyway, originally it was 11 matches were going to be the card of Full Gear. That is no longer the case. It is now 9 matches. The website for where to watch it, AEW's official website, does not list Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose as part of the main card right now. So people are assuming that means that that is now part of the pre-show. We'll maybe find out tomorrow. So that has been moved, and that felt like the match that would get moved to pre-show. Also, Ethan Page versus the other semifinalist is now not happening at the pay-per-view. That's going to happen next week on Dynamite. Tomorrow night is Lance Archer versus Ricky Starks. The winner of that will fight Brian Cage as part of 0 Hour, which is the pre-show. So they're not doing... I thought they were going to have that Rampage tomorrow was going to be Ricky Starks having to fight in 2 different matches. Instead, they are just making him do that work of that. So he's working 2 nights in a row, basically. That's a good pre-show match. I think that card was stacked and doesn't really need the Eliminator match. Also, when you know who wins the Eliminator, it kind of gives away who's going to win the main event of the card, because if it's Ethan Page, that it's probably MJF. If it's Ricky Starks, it's definitely MJF because I don't know what they do with a Jon Moxley versus Ricky Starks match. I also think MJF is going to win the belt on Saturday. I'll be streaming during it, and then I'll watch some of the beginning, and then I'll stream on Saturday, and then I'll watch the end. My other thoughts on this card, after all this, if MJF loses, it would be very funny. Yes, it would be so fucking weird if MJF lost. I think it would be a mistake. But I only think there will be 2 title changes. He'll do it, quote unquote clean, he'll cheat on his own, but to win, but he won't have outside interference cheat. I think there will only be 2 title changes, which is not many title changes, but it feels like a card where the Trios Tag Championship match is going to be a title change. Like, it was announced yesterday. It's the Elite versus Death Triangle. It's the Elite's return. They had to give up the belts. This was not interim. They were stripped of the title. Last says, I wish it wasn't. I also wish it wasn't. Because I don't need the Elite with belts. I don't need the Elite. Like, the storyline of Pac cheating and Fenix not really enjoying it, and we don't actually know how his brother feels about cheating. We know that Ray doesn't like it, but we don't really know what Pentagon thinks of cheating yet. But, like, who knows where, like, that story feels like that was the actual story for that, but they're just going to lose the belts, probably, which is a bummer. And then MJF winning the main event feels very likely. Feels like a no-brainer to do that. But I don't think any other belt's going to change hands. Like, Jade Cargill is going to keep her belt. I feel like Jamie Hayter should beat Toni Storm, but won't beat Toni Storm. Because, Thunder Rosa is supposed to put Toni Storm over, even though she's injured and has not come back. Tony Khan wants Toni Storm to put over, or Thunder Rosa to put over Toni Storm. So having Jamie Hayter win doesn't make sense for that. So I don't think she will. The belt that could change hands, and I think it would be a mistake for it to do that, but I think it could, is I could see Powerhouse Hobbs winning the TNT title. Lashbrook, do you okay, so we'll go back. Arctic Sloth, do you think Britt screws up for Hayter again? I could see that happening. I could see Britt having earlier in the night lost to Saraya, being like fucking pissed off and coming out and trying to like help out Jamie and it backfiring. But I could also see like them keeping out of it. Like Jamie being like, nah, I got this. I don't know. Lashbrook, if it was on the pay-per-view, I could see Nyla Rose winning. I don't think they're going to do a title change in 0 hour. And again, I cannot confirm that, but I can say the AEW website does, at time of recording, the AEW website did not list that match as happening. So I don't know, but that, I don't think a 0 hour title change is possible. But I could see one. I'm glad it's not for both belts. I'm glad that the triple threat Powerhouse Hobbs versus Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. I'm glad that is not a both belts on the line. They're not going to like have like a double champion or something like that. I think that's that would be silly. I think Jericho definitely keeps his belt. I could see Jericho pinning Sammy in a I told you to do the right thing. I accidentally hit Sammy with the bat that I was trying to hit Claudio with, or Brian. Well, I hit him. He's knocked out. I guess I'm going to pin Sammy. Like, I could see that happening and then, teasing that, even though if they know what's good for them, to never make Sammy face again. They got to wait years to make Sammy Guevara face if they're going to try to do that again, because people are just not going to have it. Just not going to. So it would just be like heel versus heel. So I think that belt is staying with Jericho. I feel like if Jericho drops that belt this year, it will be in December at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, the Ring of Honor only pay-per-view. I could see that happening there, where they would drop that. Then let's see, anything else before we take our pause for the cause. Jungle Boy has to win, and this has to be the end of it. It's a cage match. Jungle Boy has to beat Luchasaurus. It is easy to build Luchasaurus back up as a heel or as a face separate from Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy Jack Perry has to fucking beat Luchasaurus. He can't lose to Luchasaurus. I'm afraid he's going to lose to Luchasaurus, but I very much vehemently believe that he cannot fucking lose to Luchasaurus. And I am a little worried that he will lose to Luchasaurus. Oh, it would be bad if he did. I wonder if Sammy goes for the win the way he tried to go. Me and Sammy have never had problems. Yes. I believe they are telegraphing that Sammy will be the first one to go for the pin. He won't try to pin Jericho right away, but he will try to pin someone else, and Jericho will get mad. They'll work together for a while, but at some point he's going to go for it, because why not be Ring of Honor champion? And maybe he can justify it. Chris, I wanted to keep it in the Appreciation Society or whatever, I could see that being the case, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to win it. It'd be kind of interesting if he won it. That'd be something. But I feel like Jericho's going to drop it in December. Let's see. Are there any other things? The Acclaim should win. It would be silly to put the belts back on Swerve in Our Glory. I also could see this being the end of Swerve in Our Glory. I could see Keith Lee, I could see them losing because Swerve is just really trying to cheat and it doesn't work out, and then it ends with either him getting the best of Lee, like an injured down Lee, or Lee just snapping and being like, no, I'm done with this. I don't like these guys, but I definitely hate you, and it only worked because we were winning. I could see that happening. And then I will not be watching Darby Allin and Sting versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. If it happens in the hour that I'm watching before the stream starts, or it happens after I'm done, because this show definitely will go long, I will definitely take a pause and not watch that. I'm hoping it's happening. I hope it happens during the time where I am not watching, and while I am streaming, because I don't care to watch that match. I don't like Darby Allin as a wrestler. I don't like Jeff Jarrett or Jay Lethal as a person. And I also don't like Jeff Jarrett as a performer. It's just a no thanks. It's like a no thanks match. Like I think it's neat Sting wrestles still and again, but meh. I don't know what else is going to be on the pre-show, the 0 hour, because right now I could see Daniel Garcia having a last-minute match. I could see Hook has a match tomorrow. I could see that spilling off and becoming a pre-show, having the FTW title on the line or something. A number one contenders match for some other belt, maybe. I could see that. Perhaps the tag match that's happening tomorrow, the Jun Akiyama tag match, could lead to somebody in that match having a singles match. I would hope that Eddie versus June would get more of a build than tomorrow. It's a one-on-one in the 0 hour. But I could see Eddie versus Takeshita, maybe. Just like a, hey, I'm still around, I'll see you tomorrow kind of thing. I could see that. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. That's the wrestle talk. I am looking forward to the look. I'm not super looking forward to this show because this feels like they have been in a weird holding pattern, and I'm looking for. There are stories that I really hope end. I hope the Swerve in Our Glory tag team ends. I hope that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus ends. I hope Jeff Jarrett appearing on television ends. Like, there are things that I just would like to see come to a close, and it would be great if they fucking did. And I'm hoping that happens. But I will be here, instead of watching it live. I'm sure that updates will come through about certain things. I'm bummed about this because Full Gear is on a Saturday, and then the next Saturday is Survivor Series War Games, and it's also on a fucking Saturday. Both companies are doing this Saturday shit, and I need them to fucking quit it. I need them to fucking stop doing that. I did miss those. Okay. I need my Sunday pay-per-views back when I don't have anything going on and can watch wrestling instead of my Saturday shows. I have an appointment. I'm not going to miss a stream to watch a pay-per-view. Like, that's not happening. So it's just rude. The next stream I miss, friends, will be when I'm in Philadelphia for PAX Unplugged. And you're saying to yourself, wait, Pat, wait. Does that mean you're going to stream on Thanksgiving? And the answer is fucking yes. Because there are people in other countries that want to watch stuff on a stream. There are people that want to check out what's going on. Wait, is this? Did I miss I did miss a piece here. Okay. All right, yeah, I'm missing it. Got to be careful here. Feels like I'm slipping here. Skip it to myself. But yeah, I'm going to stream on Thanksgiving. Is what I'm trying to say there. So, Jeff just posted a video of his daughter playing a Soulja Boy game on his play date where you crank that. Yeah, I mean, that should be a game. That feels like a thing that it's got a crank. You should definitely crank that. That's a smart idea. If I could design games, I would design that for Playdate. That sounds perfect. The Soulja Boy game, would you crank that? With the crank? Yes. Yes. Yeah, you got exposed to the good stuff. All right, let's take a pause for the calls. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. We've got anime to talk about. We've got some video stuff to... Yes! Mox kept saying Sunday. Moxley really got confused about that, which was very funny to me. But yeah, I got some recommendations later. We're going to talk about some anime, because I'm watching it. Of course, I'm watching anime. But right now, what we'll say is, if you are currently a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe. If you're a tier 2, you get the blue emote. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. I don't get to do cool shit like this without your generous support. Appreciate that very much. If you would like to support me, the easiest way is to become a subscriber through Cash Money or through your Prime Gaming Token. If you have Amazon Prime, you link it with your Twitch. That is a way to support what I do, and I appreciate that if that's something you would like to do. You could also support me in a variety of other ways, like Patreon. At patreon.com/PatBaer, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. And if you sign up today, you won't be billed again until exactly 1 month from now. So think about that. Instead of, you won't be billed on the 1st, you'll be billed actually 30 days or 31 days or whatever after. So that's a thing to take a look at, see if that's something you'd like to do. Let's see. That's that. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Take a look at that. Subscribe, because subscribing is free, but there's also memberships. And if you want my Wednesday videos on a Tuesday, well, the only way to do that is to go over and take a look at that. And for $2 a month, you get one of my videos a day early. And I put out a new video every fucking Wednesday. So that's worth it just for that, I think. And then also, those are monthly ways to support me, but there are one-time things if you want to support me through Stream Elements or Coffee or PayPal with direct donations. You could do that. Every dollar I make here through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watch my videos and watch some ads, and I'll get money that way. Through Patreon and through Twitch. Everything collected goes into a fund, and I buy model kits. This kit that I'm going to be building next here, which I'll show you this horse that I'm going to be starting. I would not be able to start this horse without your support because I purchased this with funds from y'all. So I appreciate that very much. Now, I have a backlog. I got other stuff to build when that horse is done. I got to ask my $10 patrons to vote on what I should build next. That's all well and good. But there's a way to make me have to take a break from building off my backlog and instead build something specific. And that's buying something from my Amazon wish list. This Lego set that I'm currently working on that we're going to finish in the next hour. I was able to purchase this. I didn't purchase this Lego set at all. It was bought off my wish list by someone anonymously. My Amazon wish list features all kinds of cool stuff. Inexpensive Lego kits, some inexpensive model kits, some expensive model kits, all kinds of different stuff. Stuff with free Amazon Prime shipping, stuff with that is just incredibly expensive. Why is it even there? Gear at the bottom. I did want to highlight the Penguin, the Christmas Penguin Lego set that I would be happy to build this holiday season. And obviously I would wait on the Christmas Penguin, but anything else purchased off my wish list jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I build. It just gets in front of everything else. So if you want to see me build something there. Ironhide the Fourth. No, I do not own a PlayStation 5, so I have not played that game. I'm just going to go through my ad stuff here real quick. Then we'll get back to building. I got my Amazon wish list. I will ring the bell. Thank you for spending your channel points. Ringing that physical bell. Thank you very much. So I have that Amazon wish list. You can take a look at that there if you want that there. I have a throne wish list if you would like an alternative way to look at a list. It's more curated, but it is nice. And then I have a USA Gundam store. You buy a gift card there, send me a gift card code, and I will purchase something from USA Gundam store with that gift card code. You can send me a whisper here on Twitch because DM me on Twitter. Well, that's a thing you can do. Ragna Paper and Ragna Scissors. Well, everyone knows that Ragnarok beats Ragna Scissors. But Ragna Paper, I hear, is really going to whoop Ragnarok's ass. Let's see. I have a Discord. If you haven't joined my Discord, I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. So take a look at my Discord. And, of course, a couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. If you would like anime recommendations for this season, the stuff this season that I think you should check out that maybe you haven't heard of otherwise, take a look at that video. Some good recommendations there. Stuff that I think is neat. None of those recommendations are isekai because previous video was talking about the isekai this season. And then Do You Remembaer, an ongoing video series where I hastily research a topic on Wikipedia and then make a whole video about the topic that I just hastily researched. This Do You Remembaer is about weeding in the context of a library, which was a thing that I definitely knew that happened, that people call, like librarians call books, but I hadn't gave it any thought. And also I thought weeding, in parentheses, library, was just a funny thing. I just thought that was a funny thing to see on Wikipedia, and I was like, all right, I'm going to research this. Let's see. Oh, neat. Hey, the head of production at Digital Eclipse just retweeted me. Stephen Frost, who you might know as formerly of Sega, where he was a producer on several Sonic the Hedgehog games, and now is the head of production for Digital Eclipse, just retweeted my tweet about saying that Atari 50 is an important release, which it is. It's an important video game release, even just from an academic standpoint. It is very funny that I just got retweeted by that. That's very funny. I mean, I stand by it, but it's also very funny. Sorry, that's outside of the realm of me talking about things. All right, I'm done promoting myself. We're going to talk about some anime. I am going to continue to work on this Lego set and try to finish it, and maybe get started on this horse. I thought we'd get started on the horse sooner, but this Lego set is taking longer than I thought. So before I start talking about anime, I got to drink some water and dramatically transition to the overhead camera right now. All right. Let's keep working on Lego, and let's talk about some anime. A very cute episode of our one of my favorite shows this season, Do It Yourself. Twice in this episode, the main person of the club, Ray, said there's a group chant that these 5 girls who all belong to the club, the Do-It-Yourself club, where she's like, do it, and then everyone says, yourself. And it's very funny that 5 people in unison say yourself, because it's a group of 5 girls. I don't know. I just find that very cute that they just like keep saying that, even though there are many of them. It's the rainy season in Japan. And it's too rainy and humid for them to work, and because obviously the shed that they work out of is not air conditioned, so they're not feeling great about that. And the decision made is, well, we got to do these crafts because they have enough members of the club that they don't need to get new members, but they do want to have more members. So the plan is that they are building a clubhouse, like a secret fort in the tree next to their club, in order to attract more students to come and be interested in it. But they need money for materials, for enough material. So they're doing some fundraising by making some crafts. And they go over to Ray's place, which is above the Waku Waku Wan Wan hardware store. And I believe Waku Waku Wan Wan is a sound that is something in Japanese culture that is like some sort of hardware, like handiwork. The Waka Waka Wan Wan. I don't know specifically, but that's the name of the hardware store that her parents run. And then they meet Ray's dad, and they get some. He's like, "Hey, I got these leftover materials, these extra materials we don't need. You can have them." And so they got some materials they're gonna have to get to school, but also they go up to Ray's and they start doing some crafts. Latchford says, isn't Juan like a dog bark? It might be. Yeah, Juan could be the dog bark. I don't know. There are puns in this show that I don't quite fully understand, and I thought that was a pun I just wasn't getting. Anyway, they all know that you have to bring snacks. You got to bring snacks when you're at a person's hosting you, especially the first time. So they all bring snacks, and then they all have the snacks, and then they have some cookies that our girl made, our girl Ray, even though she's like kind of tough and like got her shit together and like, you know, is the person that knows the most about DIY. Turns out she's got a little soft side which she wants to like bake, and the cookies are not good. And so we get like a couple people who are like, how do we say that this isn't good? And do we hurt her feelings or not? And then, well, except for the girl who says meow a lot and is kind of a cat. What's her name? Kokoro? Yeah, Kokoro. She likes them, so that's nice. And then they start working on projects, and some of them are like definitely gung-ho, and some need some work. Oh, I got to put the engine parts on here. We're almost done with our engine. And then they build a bunch of stuff that they're going to sell in the store. They originally were just going to sell it online, but they can also sell some at the actual hardware store, which is really cool. They make resin covered and painted shell necklaces because they were at the beach collecting shells. They make tablet stands out of like wood. The nice little stands, you know, those stands you can put your tablet on so it's tilted, you can see it. And coffee drippers, which is just like out of wood, and it's for like the pot of coffee and then a place to put the filter and then pour the coffee in to do a drip coffee. They make those, and they're hoping that that they'll make some money doing that to fund their project. And it was just like a cute, nice little episode. I am almost used to the part where the girl that is supposedly American, that knows Japanese and sometimes struggles with some Japanese culture, and often just slips into her American accent. I am almost okay with the fact that her accent is... Her English is weird because it is not a native English speaker. It's clearly a Japanese speaker. And that I'm trying to get used to it. It is a weird element of the show where she just sometimes is just like when she says like good job, I'm like, yeah, all right, that sounded like somebody who's native English speaker. But then sometimes she'll say like just a random phrase, or like, sometimes they're just English words. They just say the English word, and I forget the example. There was an example in there where there's just a word. She was speaking Japanese and just said an English word, but the way she said it, it was just like, you didn't say it right. It's just weird. But the show is still cute as fuck, and I think it is totally worth checking out if you are looking for a fun girls doing things subgenre. I think it is very cute. Serafu does have some accidents, but none of them are... But because it's resin, she can like clean up the resin and fix it. So it is a good project for her, which is nice that she has a project she can do. She is the most clumsy. Reincarnated as a sword is an interesting episode of this one. Because where we last left off, there was somebody, a member of the nobility had fallen because he had his skills stolen, but he was going after her, so it was justified. He was going after Fran. Well, he thinks that Fran cursed him, which he kind of did, or she kind of did. So apparently, this dude has fucking hired an assassin. And the assassin is a blue cat. He's a black cat. She's a black cat. This is a blue cat. And I guess the blue cats have one other way. They're the ones that are stronger, and they're the ones that have helped to enslave the black cats and discriminate them. And this is Giron, and it's just like this particular cat was so excited about the idea of attacking this cat, our cat Fran. He really loves torturing and killing them, and just like really just describes it. And Fran is instinctively afraid because she has been, raised to be afraid of these kind of cats. But like, that's when her talking or telepathic sword is just like, you don't have to worry about this stuff. You're really strong. And you're not alone. And then Fran, in a pretty good fight, just whoops this cat's ass. Just like severs limbs, takes the sword, like makes a declaration that one day like black cats will no longer fear blue cats, and then just like takes this fucking dude's head off and just completely murks this bastard. And it yeah. Okay, we gotta do this part of the song. And it whips ass. It is very cool. And then she's like, all right, well, now it's time to kill the guy that that's hired an assassin to kill me. But then the head of the guild was like, no, wait. I made a deal with this guy's dad, who's the big time noble. Look, the guild is going to get a lot of money, and we're going to put August under house arrest forever. It's over. And then the last episode, we saw an elf, and I was like, wait, is this the assassin? It wasn't the assassin. An elf shows up, and she is, in the manga, the worst character in the whole show. And I knew she was going to be in the thing, because of course she was, but I was kind of hoping she wasn't, because she is, as I said, the worst character in the fucking manga. Amanda's here, and Amanda loves cute things, and seems to be a creep. Just seems to be real creepy in the way that she goddamn loves things. Loves cute things. And she's like following Fran, and she's just like, hey, let me be your new mom. To which Fran immediately is just like, no, get the fuck out of here, weirdo. We later find out that Amanda runs an orphanage, and even though seems like a creep, she does actually genuinely love and look out for kids, and wants to help out Fran. But it's like no. Fran gets offered to take a job investigating a spider monster nest for crystals, which she can feed to the teacher, the sword. And also, there's like another dungeon while she's there that she can investigate, because that basically they're going dungeon hopping to make the sword stronger, which will then make Fran stronger. And then also, if they fight any monsters that big, tough monsters, they can still steal skills from them, which would be great. And then also. Fran finds out that Amanda is joining the quest, and will be going there. So get ready to hear me for the next couple episodes talk about how much I don't like Fran as a character, because I don't, and I knew that they weren't gonna skip her being a character in the anime adaptation, but I was just like not looking forward to it. Still a really good show. Still, in my opinion, the best isekai out this season, no question. But, not my favorite element of it, unfortunately. And then Doomsday With My Dog, episodes 39 and 40. Highlights. Let's see. The highlights of this are a girl, the girl, our master, we don't know her actual name, the last human on Earth, is worried that Haru might get gamer brain like she has, where she, just thinks of things in relation to video games and particularly RPGs, because she played a lot of those, and she is afraid that her dog Haru might become have a gamer rot, basically. And then later, Haru and Master talk about misunderstandings. Like, she relates a tale where a guy she was talking to thought that she was hitting on him. And she was like, how could he misunderstand that? It's like, it's very easy to misunderstand what you were saying. And then Haru talks about how, people misunderstand the type of Shiba Inu that they're, always aggressive because of the way that their ears are by default and the way they stand by default. And the fact that as a subset of dogs, they constantly stare at people. So other dogs are on alert when they come around. It's just yeah, of course they are. What are you talking about? Because she's just yeah, maybe you should stop staring. I just thought fun juxtaposition. But that's pretty much all that we got going on there. These are gonna bend down here. Our exhaust on the side. That's fun. That's a fun little thing. And then gotta turn both these like this. Goes like that. And then we got to put some. We're using almost every piece of this kit on this because it's the main one, which is why I've started doing that last now. We start doing the biggest of the three builds last. The one that's prominently on the box. Kind of like doing that at the end. So we won't use every piece on this, maybe, but we might use almost all of them. And that's the anime that I've been watching. In a little bit, I'll ask to start thinking about what you want to say to me that you have been playing or watching or anything like that. Your recommendations, the things you're into, because I do love hearing from you about that. I will tell you, the thing I want to recommend most is the thing that just came out. You probably know of this person, but maybe you don't follow them or watch their YouTube content. H Bomber guy. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe it's like you already know about this video. But Roblox_oof.mp3 is the name of this video that you should check out. It is ostensibly, in the beginning at least, an exploration of the Roblox sound, the oof sound that happens when you die, this sound effect, and where it came from in the history. And it kind of goes into like the Wilhelm scream, which is just like, and where that came from, and the history of that, and why it became popular, that kind of thing. Lord Crashin says just started watching that. Yeah, it's fascinating because the video is like very long. Only familiar with the Aquaman bit, so the video is very long, and you're like, Pat, how could he produce such a very long video that's only about this sound effect? Well, because it's not only about the sound effect. It started off as, literally, he says, and I will take his word for it, originally, he only wanted to do a short, quick video. Because he was like, oh, okay, we can talk about how, like, it's... Tommy Tallarico says he made it. It was from a video game that Tommy Tallarico's company did the sound design for. Roblox says that they bought it from a licensed library, and maybe it mistakenly got there, but they're like in court, they would have to pay a lesser fine, whatever. How Tommy thought it was funny up until he found out that Roblox is a huge big deal, and then he wants money, but the amount he wants is not the amount they're willing to pay. Funny, weird. He says like, he now says like, I made the sound for Roblox. Like, I made the oof sound for Roblox, which is like, one, you didn't make it for Roblox. You made the sound that's in Roblox, but that's just like a weird thing to say, Tommy. And that's kind of like where the video is at. He did a 3.5-hour video about Deus Ex Human Revolution being okay. It's kind of his thing. Yes. What I'm saying is, Lord Crashington, he didn't make a very long video about Roblox_oof.mp3. He made a very, very fucking long video about how Tommy Tallarico is a pathological liar. Now, does he say pathological liar? No. That is my interpretation of it. Is Tommy Tallarico a fucking liar? Yes. And there is a lot of evidence to back up the fact that Tommy Tallarico expands his own stories and twists his own stories from the truth. For a brief period, Tommy Tallarico worked on Metroid Prime. Very, very quick. So much so briefly, he's not listed in the credits. But that became literally things that he has said that Miyamoto handpicked him to work on this project, and he worked on the game with Miyamoto for 5 years. Miyamoto had a company in the U.S. make Metroid Prime, and he checked in with them. And Tommy Tallarico was not there long, like that kind of thing. Like, it's all of the lies, and there are setups in that video that I won't ruin for you because I think it's worth investigating on your own. I think this is totally worth you checking out as H-Bomber Guy. Roblox_oof.mp3. It is a fascinating journey into Tommy Tallarico. Does it get into the Intellivision Amico? Yes, it gets into the Amico and all of those nonsense things. Really dives into that and just like the lies involved in that. Maybe actually oh, you were lying to investors about who was working on this. Shit, dude. Fuck. It does also involve a story. There's also involved a story of a lot of money that Tommy had that he was flying with that I've never heard before, and is a fascinating story of Tommy Tallarico lying and then being called out on the lie by the U.S. federal government, and then having to admit that he was lying and was telling a story. Fascinating. Totally worth watching that. All right, that's our 3-in-1. Our 3-in-1 is done. Here's the extra parts here, which we don't need. And here is our assembled car. That is our race car that is done, the street racer. That is fucking cool. This is a fucking cool looking car. It's rad. So I gotta take a photo of this, and then we will have time to start. Fuunsaiki. I gotta log in here, take a photo. The Street Racer 3-in-1 is a cool Lego set. I recommend it. H-Bomber Guy's vaccine video is an amazing piece of work. Yes. That is something that I have seen. Let's see. Sorry, I was just liking a photo on Instagram. TQ. Lovely internet person, TQ, is helping out at Desert Bus and was when they have a video guest, they have a monitor on a head and then a real person coming out. Yeah, Aristovan, I think this is a fun set. I think all three are really cool, and this one I really enjoyed putting together. This is overall just like great bits of Lego. His videos are great at the time. Yeah, I mean, they're long. Look, I don't normally... Here's the thing, right? I don't normally go for... This video is that fucking long? Like, that's not my style. That's not my thing. But I make an exception for shit posting videos. When I was told that this video was like an hour plus of him just investigating and like just like destroying the life of through facts, Tommy Tallarico, I was like, I'm on board. I'm in it to win it. All right, so this horse is this horse is broad and wide. It's actually kind of show accurate in a way. To mention this box, like these kind of shoulders, the legs here, you're not going to see this necessarily in the old original kit, the real one. Again, this is real grade, high grade, so it can work with both. It's clearly not legit. This is not Bandai. They're not trying to say they're Bandai. They're EW. Don't worry about it. This is just EW. It's just fan art. They just like made fan art. And yes, it's clip art behind it. Clearly. That this is like not a quality product. It's just from Effects Wings. It's just an Effects Wings thing that, the instructions don't say who made it, and this is like kind of thick plastic, which I appreciate. I appreciate this is thick. It's just a horse. It's just a unicorn. It's just a unicorn that you can put a high grade or real grade model kit, whatever the fuck that is. You can put one of those on there. There are a lot of water slide decals. There is no guide to putting on those water slide decals at all. There's just a photo. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to do the water slides. I have no idea if I'm going to do them. I'm going to assemble this. I'm going to panel line it, and then I'm going to see what the fuck it looks like when it's panel lined. Yeah, it's just like, good luck. I had a little store credit, so I was able to get it. Anyway, that was the big thing, the shit posting video, because that is something I will watch long form of. What are the decals? So, Lashbrook, I assume the decals are for, like, the eyes, probably. Like, there are no stickers. There's no, like, regular stickers for this, so they're just effect things. Like, they're just, like, I don't know what these are for. I don't know where they go. They don't tell me where to put them. They might not even be necessary. I probably won't put them on because I think it'll look jankier without them. And I kind of want this to look janky. I want people to go, that's a weird horse you got there, Pat. That's a weird horse model kit. Is that official? Because there isn't official. They are using the old mold of Fuunsaiki. They're using the old model of that kit from the Master Gundam high grade. Oh, like the standard military marking type decals most kits come with. Yeah. Yes, I also agree, Lashbrook, that it would feel very weird. But I think not having it and just having like all of these weird panels that I'm going to have to make. Also, no poly caps. All of it is just the regular plastic. There's no rubberized plastic. I will say it. I don't know if this plastic feels good, but it doesn't feel flimsy, which is great. Also, should mention, I might have to trim some parts. I might need to use my cutters to like trim some things down. I might have to clamp some stuff together. I'm going to try to be very careful because I have no idea if this will be able to handle being opened apart, being like taken apart, even with the use of that's F, E. Okay, so here's one thing that's weird. I've got E, E, and E. I don't know which one to use. So, obviously, like, I don't know why they did this. Do I want to put this color on the top of the head, or do I want to use this green? I don't have enough of this. I only have one of these. I don't have enough of this to do the hooves. Do I want to do, like, the front hooves green and the back one's this? I don't think so. They say E6, and then there's a symbol next to it. And that's... Okay, that's this one. All right. So there are supposed to be two of this, and there's one of these. So this one is, that means green. This means use the green part. Why did they do this? I have no idea. Should I put I might do the green parts here. But really this is saying, okay, use E6 here, which is here. Use the green one for this. So I'll do that. But why did they do this? I have no idea. I have no idea why there is E, like why there is like two parts of the E for the feet, and why they made them the other way. I guess I could just use one of the regular ones, but we might as well use the green. So now I have to kind of try to remember as best I can. But most likely I'll just be going back and forth. Every time I get an E part, I'll be like, okay, what color do they mean? But if it's two times, I know it's not green. If it's solo, maybe it's green. I don't know. But maybe I want to make the hooves in the front green and the hooves in the back not. I don't think that would look good, but I could do that. Anyway, I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What's going on with y'all? I do want to hear video games. You watching anything? I did tweet about Atari 50. I was sent a code for the Steam version of Atari 50. I have played very few actual games. I have watched a lot of the timeline. I'm interested in the history of that. I'm interested in lots of stuff that like I never owned an Atari system, so I am interested in learning about that. So I have been doing some research on those things because I think I find it fascinating. I think I tweeted this, as I said, that Atari 50 is an incredibly important release this year as a games collection and a history from a historical perspective. And from I would like other people to steal the idea of a timeline where you could watch videos and see box art and play the game. The idea that they made sequels to a few games or new versions of a few titles, I think is really interesting, and I would love to see more of it. I'd love to see DLC for it, where they get into some other Atari stuff. Or maybe companies that they reached out to that didn't understand what the project was would now be like, oh, well, if you do like a Atari 52, or if you do like, DLC, yeah, let's talk. We'll license the game. Yeah, now we understand what you're doing with it. I think it's rad. Pentiment is so fucking awesome. I can't pull myself away from it. Pentiment is on my list, Arctic Sloth. Like, money is not good right now, but Pentiment is definitely on my list of a thing that I would like to play. Because that does seem fucking cool as hell. Lord Crashton started Sonic Frontiers. It's a very rough, neat game. I'm glad that you were having some fun with it. I could never see myself playing that, but I'm glad you're having a good time. Let's see. I got a bunch of new WonderSwan games to check out. Hell yeah, John. Also, welcome back, John. Happy to have you here. I hope your trip was fucking fantastic. Folks, if you're not in the Discord, John has been posting photos of some kits purchases while on their honeymoon. Glad to see you, John. I'm glad you got some WonderSwan games. That's awesome. And saying, watching some American Horror Story NYC and playing Xenoblade Chronicles #1. Ooh. But yeah, welcome back, John. Hope you had an excellent time. Aristfan watched the recent episode of Andor. It's been great. Looking forward to the season finale. I have not been watching that, but I have heard, obviously, very good things. But yeah, I have not been checking that out myself. Okay. There are some parts on here that I'm like, is this overhang or is this... Like, it doesn't tell me, hey, you got to clip this part out. You just have to know that there is, like, some undergating going on. And so I'm doing my best to, like, be aware of what's undergating and what's just, like, supposed to be there. So we'll see. Yeah, I might end up needing to use some liquid cement on this kit. We'll find out. Let's see. Lastbrook says, so Texas just dropped in American Truck Simulator. Nice. American Truck Sim. Watched the trailer, and there was a section of road that I go by all the time in there, so I bought it, and I've spent the night so far driving from California to Texas. Hell yeah. I hope you're having a great time with that. That's one of those games that I appreciate from afar. It's not something that I would want to pick up, but I love that it exists, and I love that I love that there's a Texas expansion. I just think that's neat. And I hope you're fucking loving it. It's on Game Pass if you still have that. I do have PC Game Pass. I don't think I would like... Oh, Pentiment is on PC Game Pass, is it? Is Pentiment on PC Game Pass, friends? I'm asking y'all. Because if it is, I might check it out there. I mean, I could also look. I played 40 minutes of Pentiment, and time went by fast. Oh, it is. It's on, okay, well, then I should check that out. I'm putting it aside until I can really focus on it. Yeah, you meant Pentiment. Okay. I'm probably going to have to check that out then. Fuck. Next week I'm doing Pokemon. I'm going back on next Tuesday. I'm going to play more Pokemon because I really like playing it. Wait, is this supposed to connect? And then it doesn't because, yes, there is a lot of undergating here that I need to get off that I did not. So I got to do that now, friends. I did not recognize that there was so much undergating on just these parts. So far, these are the only parts that had it. This weird kit. I should say, got some fun model kits, says John. That's rad. Glad you got some cool stuff. Hopefully I'm making kits next week over Thanksgiving with my wife. Trip was great. That's so awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for you. I would love to go to Japan. That is the top of my very short list of places I would like to go to. I mean, there's a return trips that I would like to make. Like I would like to go back to Ireland and go for a longer period than I did when I went. But yeah, Japan is on the top of that list. The one that like almost happened was Australia. I almost went to Australia. I was so close to going to Australia, and then it didn't happen. And I'm kicking myself for that. But yeah, I almost made it to Australia, and that would have been fucking cool as hell. All right. Let's get this head attached here. Why is this not attaching? Attach, head. I need you to. Why are you weird? Why are you not attached? Oh boy, why is this? I'm going to try to separate these parts and make sure I've cleaned it up, but this does not want to go together right now. I gotta figure this out real quick here. These parts here do not want to slide together. And I need to figure out why. Tokyo was both top of our list. Oh, okay, awesome. You're getting Pokemon Scarlet next Tuesday. Order is a little late, but I want me new Pokemon. Yeah. At some point I will do Pokemon Pass or Smash with the new Pokemon. I'm waiting for the website that did it to update. They have not updated yet, but I do plan on doing Pokemon Pass or Smash. The new class. Maybe did I put the ears in wrong? No, the ears got to be like this because it's got to be. This is the inside of the ears, so it's got to go like that. All right, that's in place. This is pushed over. Oh, there's an undergate I missed, so let me get this undergating off here. Australia is the one. A lot of my friends have been and only said great things. Yeah, I would love to go. I want to go to PAX Australia. I want to go to PAX Australia, perform there, hang out, go for a little longer than the actual, stay longer than the convention, see some stuff. Yes, the yen is low, friends. If you've been thinking about getting New Japan Pro Wrestling World, it's a great month, wait until December 1st and do it for the month of December because you pay it the first no matter what. So don't sign up now because you're getting a full month of it because they charge on December 1st in Japan no matter where you are in the world. All right, so I'm going to try to squeeze these together here without breaking anything. This just does not really want to go together perfectly, but it worked enough. We're going to call this good. It's not. It's not good, but we're going to call this good. I mean, it's just the head of the kit. It's not a big deal that it doesn't line up quite right. Whatever. We're gonna call that good. Yikes. Last week, they do not prorate. If you join up on December 29th, you will also pay on December 1st, the full amount, if you want to get into that. I need to get Texas DLC for American Simulator. Oklahoma is their next state. Oh, that's good. Right there. Yes, send a message. Thank you, Dan, the Brad. Put it on my parents' bed to send the message. You're right. Got to let them know what's going on. We're almost done with the head here. Got the unicorn horn. Again, this is a third-party kit. I have no real information about I've never built on stream a third-party kit before. I'm not necessarily sure what to expect. This does feel bootleg as hell. I mean, look, it's not so bootleg that the instructions are on a website or something. They did print instructions, which is good because I definitely have friends who have bought weird third-party nonsense they just end up with a QR code and you got to go to a website because printing out the instructions is not financially make any sense. So they don't let you. They don't do it. So, John, I don't know if this was 3D printed. I don't think this was 3D printed. I believe this was plastic molded because I got this kit through USA Gundam Store. So this company they don't have the legal rights to make this kit, right? They don't have the license for it, I should say, to make this. But they are a company in China that makes model kit stuff. Effects Wings. Effects Wings is the name of the company. Effects Wings. So yeah. So they are decent enough. Yeah, and it was inexpensive. It definitely was. If you get a free super expensive Lego kit, would that 5-foot Eiffel Tower be the choice? I mean, actually, Lord Crashington, if people were just hey, I have this Lego set, I want to send it to you, I would want the Death Star. My friend has made the giant. He basically bought a coffee table for it to sit under, a glass coffee table. I would want to build that incredibly huge, very expensive, ginormous Death Star. That would probably be the thing I would want to buy. The Firehouse. Yes. The Firehouse is definitely a little more reasonable than the other two things we're talking about, but it also is really impressive and cool and expensive. But yeah, no, I would say definitely the thing I would want to buy is that. I would definitely want to have that, the big old Death Star. All right, this is the now we got the not. I don't remember the name of this. The reins. The reins. We got the Roman reins here, so we can put the reins on. We have at least completed the head of this kit. The funny thing is the mobile suit that I have for this. I only have his like wide open fun hands, so he's not even going to hold this thing. But it is important to have the reins for him to theoretically hold, and they're a cool looking effect part. I should take this off because Death Star is a week stream. The Death Star would be several weeks, I think, because the Millennium Falcon, not even the biggest Millennium Falcon, the 2011 smaller Millennium Falcon, which is one of my favorite Lego sets I've ever built, that took forever to build. I would say that Death Star would be like 2 weeks easy because it's just so comprehensive. I forget how many pieces it was, but that would be because it's also really detailed. So not only is it big, it's got a lot of detail to it. So let's panel line this. I have no idea if these markers are going to look good on this because I'm not really sure what kind of plastic we're working with here. But this was inexpensive. I had a credit for shipping here. Death Star month then. Yes. I had credit for shipping, so I used that when I pre-ordered this kit. And it wasn't super expensive. Here's the real thing is, if you want to buy the Master Gundam and the original horse, the thing that this is modeled after, that duo kit is on Amazon right now for, I believe, $60. And the last time I saw it in stores, it was like $40, but that was a couple years ago, before the real grade of the God Gundam, which I have on my shelf behind me, came out. When that came out, that really probably made the horse like jump in price. And then they announced the official effects parts for the God Gundam and the horse, which is just the same old one, which made me end up buying this when it was up for pre-order. At first, I didn't even realize this was a third party, and then I looked into it and I went, oh, this is a third party that I've pre-ordered. But yeah, I want it. I was like, why is this such a good price? That was why. I remember Will and Norm's Lego competition. That Star Destroyer was pretty big. Yes, that was. I just bought the HG for $32 at my local. Nice, Dan the Brad. That's awesome. That's a good price. I mean, obviously, it's a high grade for $32, but like that's a good price. Good on you. Yeah, I don't have a local, unfortunately. My local is the Target, which is not anywhere near here. Or Amazon. My local is USA Gundam Store, because they're in Florida. That unfortunately is my local. They're the closest people. I don't want to leave excess marker on here for too long, because I have no idea how this marker is going to react. So I want the effect of panel lining, but I can't let it sit, because I don't know how it's going to react. So I'm just applying it and then immediately trying to get it off, the excess off, because I think that is the best chance I have for this to look good. And then we will use the brown marker here on the red and the black marker on the orange. I logged the time it took me to do the Super Star Destroyer, and I think it added up to like 25 hours. Yeah. And you weren't running a stream during that. So like, I mean, I don't know how, distracted you were. 'Cause sometimes people are like, watching TV or doing other things, or you got some videos on or something like that. But I definitely would take me longer if I was on stream. I'm better at building Lego than I was when I built like the some of my early stuff. But you can only be so good at it, especially when you're alone. When like I'm keeping an eye on chat. I'm trying to like get stuff done. I just want to finish panel lining this, and then we'll probably call the stream. But I did want to get this done here. And I'll just hit the eraser. My next stream will be on Saturday. I hope you come out for that. I'll be finishing this kit because I can't imagine it's going to take the whole stream. It might. I will like say like, hey, what should I do next? But I can't imagine this is going to take the entire stream to do. So I'll at least kind of know what the next step is for model kits here. This doesn't look bad. Having it be green plastic instead of a sticker, I think is awesome. I always prefer that because there are no stickers for this kit. I don't think this looks too terrible so far. I mean, once we get like the body like built, then we'll really know if this is going to be garbage. I should also point out, it said it comes with a stand, right? There is a stand that this will sit on. The God Gundam will sit on the horse, and the horse will be on a stand. I just want to point out that stand is meant for a person model kit, like an action figure model kit. There is a way to just not use the hook part and just use this part here, but that's what they sent me with. They sent me with Stage Act for humanoid. This is not a humanoid. And it's got screws. So I could tell you right now, I bet this stand sucks shit. And I might try to just put it on like this stand, which will be probably better. But at the very least, we're going to make the stand it came with, but I bet it sucks ass. And I guarantee you that I will use a different stand than what it came with. But that is going to do it for tonight's stream. I'll put these on off because they don't seem to want to stay on. They don't seem to want to stay on. We are going to raid, and we're going to go hang out with my friends at Desert Bus. That is definitely where we're going because they're still raising money for Child's Play. They're still streaming. I'm going to do a quick check-in to see where they're at there. Mute the stream there. Oh, they're watching some videos or something. Minimize that. Okay. So I would love if you could come along with me on this raid as I get it set up. They still have several hours left of the stream, so it'll be a little while before they're done. We're going to go raid our lovely friends at Desert Bus. Let me just get this ready to go. Raising money for charity, and a bunch of my friends are there. And also, we always end with the raid, as John says. And my buddy Graham, who is cancer-free, which we love for him. Announced it during the stream. We absolutely love that for Graham because he rules and cancer's a bitch. We're going to go raid that. Feel free to come along. I hope you have a great night. I hope you enjoy yourself on this stream. I hope you come back on Saturday. Hope this was fun for you. I'll talk to you all soon. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Yes, screw cancer indeed, right? Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy this lovely stream that we're going to go hang out in. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye.